Having a good frame rate in a game is very nice. It makes it smoother, makes you better, not to mention the bragging rights, and you know, stuff like that. I mean, the minimum requirements is an Intel i3 from 2013. In saying that though, having a $3,000 computer means I can definitely run the game at a comfortable frame rate. However, this is not good enough. I want to squeeze every single last frame out of this children's block game. And why, you may ask? Because it's fun flexing on little kids. And you know, content. Anyway, this is my first video, so if you do like the content, click that red button and give us some likes. And with that said, let's get to it. Now, starting off with my PC specs, for the CPU, we're running a Ryzen 7 5800X, 32GB of DDR4 RAM at 3200 MHz, an RTX 3080, and 6 Corsair RGB fans, because we all know that RGB gives you more FPS. Now, in terms of Minecraft, I'm just going to be running the latest version, which just happens to be 26.2, and I'm just going to be running the vanilla version just to get an idea of where we are so we can compare it later. So here we are, let's launch the game. Let's just launch a single player world, you know, just something easy. Oh, and here we are. I mean, like, even for the vanilla version, the game is pretty smooth. I mean, it feels just like normal Minecraft, I guess. But now, if I press F3, 505 FPS. That's pretty good. However, having the F3 menu can reduce your frames. In saying that, I'm going to grab MSI Afterburner. And what MSI Afterburner does is pretty much grab your frames without reducing your frames too much. So basically the F3 menu without all the extra shit. Alright, so here we are with Rivatune Statistics Servers, or just MSI Afterburner. And even now, like, I'm still getting a comfortable like 470 FPS, like, that's pretty good. I mean, like, even when I stand still, I'm getting 50 FPS. Like, that's pretty good. And it's even better when I hide my UI, in which I get 570 on vanilla. That's pretty good. Now, in saying that though, this is just the base game, so I wouldn't actually expect too much from it, which is why I would like to introduce you to mods. Now, in terms of mods, you actually have a lot of options. Like, I can literally go into Modrinth and search up FPS or something along the lines, and boom, you got like 50. Now, for those of you who live under a rock, there's this mod called Sodium, and it's pretty good. It's pretty much the equivalent of turning a potato PC into a nuclear power plant. And if you're too young to understand what that means, then let me show you. So here I am in game, and as you can see, I do have Sodium installed. Now, it will say 60 FPS because it will only register 60 in the main menu. However, if I load into the exact same world with the exact same settings, we can see that I'm pretty much getting double the amount of FPS that I was. That's a ×2 multiplier of what I was at. Same specs, same settings, literally just Sodium. Now, even when it comes to running around, my monitor only maxes out at 240 Hz, so I don't actually really notice too much difference. However, to be fair, we're only really running this sort of plains biome, and that's actually not a lot of stuff. So if I were to go into creator mode and fly up to where I can see everything, I mean, then you can see that we do start losing a few hundred frames. However, being the only thing that's actually changed is the renderer, is still incredibly good. However, with it being this good already, I want to bring it a challenge. Like, these blocks, they're too easy. So what did I decide to do? I downloaded Iris shaders and the most obnoxious shader pack I could find. And after loading the shaders, we can still see that we're getting around 230 frames. Like, this is still incredibly smooth. And to be quite honest, I don't even really notice the difference in gameplay. Like, it's pretty much the same thing. But you know, this is just still too easy. Like, there needs to be something more, something powerful, and something that will actually break my $3,000 PC. So that's when I had the idea. I decided to download the most realistic texture pack that I could find. Like, it's literally almost 1 GB of storage. Like, this should be good. I mean, now all I have to do is load it up and see how it goes. Wow, this is crazy. This is a 1024 resolution texture pack. Look at that grass. Look how real it looks. Like, if I zoom in, you genuinely cannot tell if that's real or not. This is literally just ridiculous. I'm not even kidding. 25 frames. If I zoom in, you can barely even see a pixel. Bro, I mean, like, look at this. Tell me if you can see a pixel or not. I don't even know if you can. Like, look at that. Like, look at this. Oh, something's happened.
Like, this is just ridiculous. I'm not even kidding. That's honestly, it's almost disgusting. I mean, still, however, if I do hide my UI, we are getting 42 FPS. Like, that's still playable. Like, that's pretty good. However, I'm not here to destroy my PC. That's for another video. However, what I am here to do is maximize my frame rate. So I went into Modrinth and I downloaded every single performance mod on the app. And finally, after 5 minutes of straight work, I have all the performance mods I could possibly ever need. We got sodium, we got lithium, and we have like 20 others that I don't even know the name of. So like, they have to be good. So loading back into the game, it actually seems we're getting roughly the same amount of frames as if we didn't have all those extra mods. I mean, it kind of makes sense, like there's not too much that really has to change. However, when it actually comes to rendering things, for example, the things that actually take your frames away, like look, you got sheep, grass, shit, all of this is affecting our frames. So what if I were to just like, everything fast, everything minimal, everything off? And after that, I'm getting around 1300 FPS. Now, after looking down, you do actually end up getting a few extra frames. Now, this might seem like we've pretty much gotten rid of most of the stuff. However, we still got donkeys and rabbits running around, and you know we can't have that. So what I'm gonna do is I'm pretty much just gonna fly up until these things no longer register. However, this was taking too long, so on short command later, we were there. So here we go. Y level 2000, and we are getting 1800, if not 1900 frames. That is crazy. Now, the only last thing I can realistically do is hide my UI to get a final reading of 2000 frames. So we've done it, have we not? That is the maximum that I could get.
Well, actually no, it's not. Something that I didn't realize is if I switch the graphics API to Vulkan instead of OpenGL, it actually increases your FPS by so much, where even on the ground I'm getting 2200. And better yet, if I go back up to Y level 2000, I get a whopping 3100 FPS. But even better, if I finally hide my UI for the final time, we get 4000 frames per second. Damn, that's a lot. However, is this really the best I could do? I decided to look online for any more information regarding Minecraft FPS limits. That's when I discovered there's a really specific version of Minecraft that was released all the way back in 2009, that for some reason makes all the other versions look like bloated malware. And yes, I'm talking about the legendary Old Alpha RD 2009-0515. However, the worst part about this version wasn't even the game itself. It's the fact that I had to use the default Minecraft launcher, like an absolute weirdo. Alrighty, here we are. I mean, it pretty much just looks like a really old version of Minecraft. Well, I mean, that's pretty much what it is anyway, so. But look what we got here. Steve. Yeah, there's a few Steves, they kind of just run along the place. They don't actually do much, but I don't know, be spastic. However, even though this game is very simple, being right click to break blocks and left click to place blocks, one thing you can do is build up 50 blocks, spawn a bunch of Steves, and just let them run wild. Wow, look at my frames. They just keep going down, like there's no coming back. 570, 520. I'd say that's probably enough. Like, I'm jumping right now, you cannot even tell. So I'm just gonna go break these blocks around. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Bro, there's so many. Oh my god, bro. Holy shit. I mean, peak game, bro. Like, honestly. Wait a minute. Are they all falling off the edge of the map? Look at them all. They literally just... Bro, that's kind of funny. Yeah, so apparently Steve's just decided to kill themselves when they feel normal, I guess, but you know. Now, I quickly created a new world, just so that way we weren't registering anything else than what we had to. So all I have to do now is pretty much jump into the void. And then finally, I can look down, and we... Wait, 3,400? That's less than 26.2. Yeah, so I don't know how, but the latest version of Minecraft managed to get more frames than what was supposed to be the best version for FPS. I mean, I guess Mojang has finally put some effort into optimizing their game for once, but yeah. Well, I guess you have it then. 4,048 FPS. That was the maximum that I could get in this block game made for kids. Was this a good use of my time? Probably not. but at least you got some entertainment while you eat your dinner. So good on you.